may have seen recently that I'm changing my content. And this was not something I came to on my own. This was guidance that I received. So I've been feeling stuck for a while. I've been feeling like I'm trapped. There's no move to make, but I have to make one. So whenever I would lean into what I want, to what feels right, to use my intuition, it would always come back to stop overcomplicating it. Do what you want to do. You have that choice. And I had been looking through readings and different messages from different spirits on different YouTube channels and TikToks, however. And while I did go through a lot of them, there was not one single one that resonated with me completely. So I left them. I stayed in that thought of I should be doing what I want to do. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm doing this. But the material side of things holds so much sway over one's soul. And I'm no different. I channeled a message from the Morrigan by way of automatic writing. This was actually my first time doing this. I've only ever been able to use my intuition and that feeling of guidance for rune divination and little bits of claircognizance where I would just feel things. And more recently, I started to hear certain messages coming through. And it's so funny because we can rule some of them out sometimes. Sometimes we just get a song stuck in our head and we chalk it up to just that. And I should listen to that song. And it doesn't go anywhere. But I'm done not listening. I channeled this message in automatic writing that I just spoke about to try to get more clarification. And the problem with that is when you end up seeking a definite, this is what you should do instead of that, it's kind of hard to find that because you have free will. When you make clear what you want, the choice is clear, but that's hard to do right now. Things are tricky. We fall into certain fears of, what if I don't make enough money to support us, to do the things that we want to do, to get to this thing at a certain time? But every message that I've ever channeled since this one has told me, just do it. So I'm going to read this real quick. You are strong. You lack the capability of being someone else's fool. You move forward with integrity and show those who do not know the way. You kindled your flame long ago and have been feeding it ever since. You've masked your greatness with pride in the past, but cannot allow it the more. You see through the guise and will not let it continue. For what you see will be your greatest attribute. You remember long ago when you could not see, and you refuse to return, for you are destined for greatness that cannot be contained within a single desire. Go to the second page. Go forth with the utmost certainty of who you are, and bring others with you, for their journey is not over, and you will help them find what is clear. I should note at the top of this second page that I wrote, continue forth, and I was made to cross it out. Because what I'm doing right now is not what I should do if I want what I say I want. That's the key here. What you should do in regards to what you know resonates with you. We're not talking about other people here. We're talking about you. There were some other things that had come through. This other little automatic writing thing that I did, it was very short. I was very distracted that day. I was kind of in some other emotions. It was hard to kind of focus, but what I caught was, and the rest will come. You were born for this, great creator. And this is speaking on how we create our own reality. It says right after that, you will get to show what you have learned and leave what you do not believe. This is obvious now. These are hard to pick up in the moment. So, let's see. Let me go to the next thing. I've had this phrase in my head for weeks now. In your heart shall burn. And ever since I have been communicating with the Morrigan, working with the Morrigan, this has stayed with me regularly. Almost like a song stuck in your head. You just hear it. I hear it at random parts of the day. And when I had a certain experience with the Morrigan and was communicating, I felt this. I felt like every intention that I have was set on fire, just set ablaze. And that if I wanted something, all I had to do was chase it down. That the world around me will bend to my will. So, something about that phrase. I know it because it's from a video game called Dragon Age Inquisition. Still one of my favorites. I love the story. I love the soundtrack. There is a chapter of the game called In Your Heart Shall Burn. This is when Haven is being attacked by this big bad, as tabletop games would say, by this big bad named Corypheus. Now, I don't feel that I need to share all the details about this, so basically, Haven is attacked. You have to save people in the town. You bring them with you once the town falls. It was in that message earlier. Bring people with you. And you end up taking off through the mountains. It's snowing like hell. These people don't really know if they're going to find what they're looking for, but they go out anyway. So they all head out. And they end up finding this place called Skyhold, which is their new base of operations anyway. But I thought about playing this soundtrack while I was doing this video, but I decided I was just going to share the tracks that make up this message. So, In Your Heart Shall Burn is one of the soundtrack tracks. is one of the tracks. And then after that is a song called The Dawn Will Come. This is sang by the characters in the game in this mountain pass that is snowing like hell, and they're all singing it together, kind of rising that hope, that will to carry on. And then the next one is something about Skyhold. I can't remember the exact name, but it's in the soundtrack. So I pulled the lyrics up on my phone, and I'm just realizing that I should have written them down before I did this. But I won't stress about it, because there was a channeled message that I found by Witch and Scythe recently that was spot on. I say it's hard to find the exact message you're looking for that says yay or nay, but this message 100% hit me like a fucking freight train. One of the lines from it that really hit home was, she was seeing this game in her mind, this board game. And it says, or her message when it comes to this says, quit playing their game. You're meant to break the game. This whole channeled message that she had, this little tarot card pull thing that she, or how I say it that way, but this way that she emphasized the reading with the cards at the end is saying, it's time to move your fucking ass. It's time for me to move my fucking ass. If you feel trapped, you're not. Get out of this fear that you have, that you're not going to make it. And lean into what you want. For me, I've known for years what I did not want. And others around me have tried to convince me, you know, all these times of me being a people pleaser and having problems with any person of authority, any managers that I've had that gave me grief, that I should go back to these places and do things differently and face it. But the thing about it is, I know where I'm at. I don't have to prove shit to myself because I know what I want. All these problems I had at previous jobs is because I knew what I wanted, and I chose to let this game continue. I chose to play their game. But the wonderful thing about being ADHD is, if your heart's not in it, if you're not interested in it, it is not going to go well. And that has showed me several times what I do not want. So I'm not going on this journey out of a sense of lack. I'm going on this journey. I'm setting forth on this to bring in what I want. Finally. I think Uncle Iroh from Avatar said it best. I've got the exact quote here. Is it your own destiny? Or is it a destiny someone else has forced on you? He tells Zuko, it's time to look inward. and he says, "Who are you? And what do you want?" This is so important. We can say sometimes we have to do things we don't want to do or things we're not comfortable with. Let me tell you, the reason people talk about working with the Morrigan being uncomfortable, or maybe even saying she's mean in a certain sense, is because she has this tough love for you out of respect for your sovereignty. I know too many people who are living this way. It's time to take your fucking sovereignty back and live how you want. I do believe that's the end of this message. Thank you for your time. If you feel called to, listen to those songs. There is a mix of The Dawn Will Come with the main theme that has the same chord progression and melody. And it's really fucking great. You want to talk about feeling empowered? Think about what you came here to do and listen to that. So the first song, I don't have it in the notebook where I can see it now. It's a few pages off. The first song is In Your Heart Shall Burn. This song to me represents the turmoil right now from not accepting yourself in your sovereignty, who you are, and allowing yourself to take it for yourself, to work towards that, to chase it down. The next song, The Dawn Will Come, the specific one with the main theme in it, I believe it's under a regular YouTube user, not the actual music composer. The Dawn Will Come main theme mix. Fucking wonderful. It's like 5 minutes and 45 seconds. Then after that, I believe, is the one about finding Skyhold. Sit with that. Think about what you want. Think about if you could not fail, what do you want to do? What would you do? How would you change what you're doing now? Sit with these thoughts. Sit with the energy of your higher self, your higher path and your future now, where you would move to from here. Sit with that energy and listen to those songs. They are empowering. It is time to get the fuck up and own who you are. Apparently I had a little bit more in me. So thank you for listening to this if you've listened all the way through. A lot of this is personal to me. So if you sat through this and it's not really feeling like it's for you, just leave it. But I have a good feeling this will serve a lot of people. This empowering feeling. Just lean into it. I'm not saying to uproot everything, but stop undermining yourself. And the way the Morrigan says it, be yourself unapologetically, without malice. This is for you. I do believe that's it. Anyway, I'm Jake Thurman, Value Wins Alchemy. Thank you for being here. Have a good one.